So, hey guys, here's some other cool stuff out there that hasn't really been discussed much. There's a pair with Windows feature. The app is called Link to Windows. You can find it in the Google Play Store, but with the Fold, it comes pre-installed. So just make sure it's updated, and then you just create it with the QR code. And then right from there, you can see your battery percentage. You can see all of your notifications. And if you click on an app, it actually opens it up in Windows. I know the Link to Windows feature has been covered, but one thing that laptops don't have, that our mobile devices have, is the Google feed. And I don't know about you guys, but I live off of this. This is how I get all of my news. And it's really one of the first things I look at when I wake up in the mornings. And one thing I harped on before was I didn't like that persistent taskbar. But it does look in certain apps, if it's supported, you can get it fully transparent. So I can get the persistent app launcher and also get the full screen real estate. It seems like mostly only Google apps are supporting this view right now. Hopefully it comes to other apps later on down the road, but that would be nice. And one thing that I've noticed, since the screen is so large and I kind of want to use it one-handed sometimes, it's almost impossible. The best way I found to do that is in the One-Handed Operations Plus app. You can enable a feature, and I specifically set it to when I swipe downwards and hold it, it actually brings up the scrolling thing, and you can see at the top, it's actually telling me where the press is gonna go. So if I do that and then let go, it actually got to my settings, and with some practice, you could probably get pretty fast at it. So with one hand, you can navigate through the entire screen, and that is a game changer. So like if I want to go to this tab right here, I literally just place my finger over it, let go, and then it takes me to it. Samsung is just on top of their game in every sense of the word. This is the coolest thing ever. And like, I don't know, I can just do this all day. Oh, I'm putting my friends on blast. I'm sorry, guys. Obviously, it's universal, so it'll work on every single app. And another thing, this is probably a bit of a knock against Samsung. I've noticed myself slowly Googlefying everything. As you can see, I switched to the Google Calendar, which I prefer. I switched over to the phone app from Google. Messages by default also comes from Google. So you got to make sure that when you're using the watch, you have to make sure you're not opening the Samsung Messages app. And you have to make sure you install the Google Messages app, which can be found in the Play Store. That's just something I noticed. And speaking of Google apps, I tried with Samsung Keyboard. I can't do it, guys. I had to switch over to the Google keyboard, and thankfully now there is a split keyboard, which I do prefer for such a large screen, and it's not a bug. The G and the V are duplicated, and it really helps make typing easier. And when I have to hit G, depending on the word, I end up using both of them, and it does make it a lot easier to type than on the Samsung keyboard. Now that I'm looking at it, doesn't look balanced, and it seems a little bit weird to type on. I get so many errors, so many typos, and I would have probably suffered with the Samsung keyboard if it wasn't for the split keyboard, because without it, my fingers would have to stretch a little bit too much to type comfortably, and it's just more ergonomic this way. So one thing I miss about my iPhone is the control panel. And especially because it's a big phone, I use the one-handed mode thing, which never works well on Android and on iPhone. And I have full access to everything here. Android doesn't really have that. I know with the Pixel line, they're trying to improve that, but it's not quite there yet. So the best workaround I've been able to find, and again, in the one-handed operation mode, so whenever I want to quickly adjust the brightness, I literally swipe and hold. It brings this up. I can control the brightness. I can control the volume. You get your media playback here, and you get a lot of the quick settings available to you here. And there's a lot more stuff that you can customize in the app. All right, guys. So I think that's going to do it for this one. I don't want to make a video for making one's sake. I've chose these features because I actually do use them, and I find that it's improving my Fold experience, I should say. And so far, I have not been thinking about switching to my iPhone or my S22 Ultra, which is a good sign. Usually when I'm using one of these phones, I have a constant urge to switch back and forth, but my SIM card has been locked and loaded in the Fold. So I'm going to continue to do some analysis, and I'll come back with my final opinions within the next few weeks or so. And I have all the stuff I'm going to cover. Obviously, the new iPhones are going to be announced on September 7th. So I definitely will be ordering one of those. And, I'm going to continue to cover as much as I can. All right. But yeah, that'll do it. Thanks a lot, guys. I appreciate it. Bye. All right, guys. Here's some bonus tips, actually. So there's no really easy way to extract text from images or from links itself. With the iPhone, you can, let me just get the iPhone. With the iPhone, you can literally just pull up any image or AKA just take a screenshot and you have an option to extract text, which is the bottom left here. And then from there, from an actual image, remember this is a screenshot, you can actually select text as you would regularly. On the Pixel, I don't have my Pixel to demonstrate with you right now. The way you would do that is you would like literally go to the multitasking and right from there, you can extract text right from it. And I still think that's the most elegant and fastest solution. So with Galaxy devices, and the Fold is no different, but it does look like with One UI 5.0, you can do it from a screenshot. But if you want to do that right now, the only way I know to do that is to add it in the edge panel. So you just swipe it and you can set up different screens here, but I have two, but the one that I want to talk about right now is the smart selection. So you press on rectangle here and it brings up literally a rectangle. So right from here, you can actually tell the smart selector where you want it to look at text at. So from there you hit done. And then from there, there's a little text icon that pops up. And then right from here, you can actually you can copy your text from any image, from any link, from anything that you really can't just do regular text from. So that is something that I use a lot in other phones that I have not found available in Samsung. And this has been my workaround for the longest while. And honestly, from what I remember, Galaxy has had this feature way longer than the Pixel or the iPhone. So kudos to them for that. And one thing that I want to point out too, I know a lot of people focus on the multitasking on this. That's fine and all. But what I really love the most about this is because the screen is large enough, for the most part, I am going to the desktop side for everything. And I have, space to fully maneuver everything. So I actually find myself using the apps less and just going to the full desktop website. There's just many websites that are just more full feature than the best apps out there, and even on an iPhone. So this is kind of what I was talking about when I was hoping that this would make me want to use my laptop less. By having the full desktop experience on a screen that's big enough to support it, to where it's still comfortable to view, and to be able to complete whatever task you need to do, that's also what's making this phone a winner. This is something that I know I'm going to miss if I ever get out of using the Fold. Alright guys, so those are my extra 2 tips. For real now, the video's done. Thanks again. Subscribe if you haven't already. Thanks, bye.